An alien scout named Corell returns to the Galactic War Council. He is shaking, terrified. He claims Earth is undefended, no shields, no fleets, no planetary weapons. Yet, he saw something. Something that made him flee. Something ... watching. The council laughs. But Corell says, the humans don't guard their planet, because they don't have to. End with Corell whispering, I saw it. I saw the thing in the mountains move. The room was cold. Very cold, not because the ship had no heat, but because fear had entered first. Captain Corell stood in the middle of the Galactic Council chamber. His armor was scratched, and his skin pale blue with terror. 10 alien leaders watched him from their golden thrones. They looked powerful, but Corell, he looked broken. Speak, said High General Threx, tapping his claws on the table. What did you find on Earth? Corell's voice shook. Nothing, and everything. The council laughed. Soft, cruel laughter. Explain, said Threx. Again, his tone sharper now. Corell swallowed hard. There are no orbital defenses, no space fleet, no planetary shields, no anti-air batteries. The humans have no defenses. The room went silent. Then why do you look like you saw a god? Asked one of the counselors. Corell looked up. Because I did. A deep silence filled the chamber. The generals exchanged glances. Corell stepped forward. The planet is not defended, because it doesn't need to be. Ridiculous, said General Vosk. We've conquered planets with oceans of fire. What can a soft green world do? Corell nodded slowly. I thought the same. He began to tell the story. His scout ship had entered Earth's orbit 3 days ago. Alone, silent, he scanned the planet. Billions of humans, most using simple technology cars, planes, satellites, nothing advanced. Primitive, Corell had whispered at first. He sent small probes down to scan the cities. They came back fine. He even cloaked himself and landed in a forest near a place humans called Colorado. Still, something felt wrong. The air was too quiet, the animals too still. The ground vibrated at night, like it was breathing. On the second night, Corell climbed a mountain to get a better signal. The trees were tall, black, and twisted like they didn't want him there at the top. He saw it, a giant valley, hidden from the sky, green, ancient, untouched. But something was inside it, sleeping, not metal, not machine, not human. It was something older, bigger. Corell raised his scanner. It didn't work. The screen turned black. Then something looked back at him. Not with eyes, with presence. He froze. Then he ran. Down the mountain. Through the forest he dropped his gear. His heart felt like it was burning. The next morning, when he reached his ship, every tree was facing him, and the leaves had turned black. Overnight, Corell's voice cracked as he finished. I don't know what it is, but the humans live with it. They walk beside it, and they do not fear. The council didn't speak. Not for a full minute. Then General Vosk leaned forward. So, the mighty Corell was scared by a dream in the forest. It was real. Corell snapped. Threx smiled coldly. You say Earth has no shields, no weapons, no protection. Yet we've never seen a successful invasion. Corell nodded. That's the warning, not a weakness. Then why don't they tell us to stay away? Someone asked. Corell stared at the floor. Because they don't have to. Outside the chamber, 2 guards whispered. Earth? Really? That green backwater? I heard they still use gasoline. Back in the chamber, Threx stood. Prepare the invasion fleet, he ordered. We'll see if your ghost can stop 1,000 ships. Corell opened his mouth but said nothing, because deep inside, he knew it wouldn't take 1,000 ships to find the truth. One was enough, and it might not return. General Velter stood on the edge of the war room, staring at the strange data on the screen. The planet called Earth was silent, no defense shields, no fleet patrols, no weapon. Satellites, it looked completely open, but something was wrong. The last scout ship that entered Earth's orbit never returned. It vanished without a signal, without a sound. The galaxy called Earth defenseless. But now, even the bravest captains were refusing the mission. General Veltor belonged to the Kale Dominion, a powerful alien empire that had conquered over 400 planets. He had seen worlds cry, burn, and beg for mercy. But this blue planet, it made no sense. Earth had no planetary shield, no laser grid, no deep space guard stations. And yet every probe, every scout, every spy sent to Earth simply vanished. Show me the last report again, he ordered his officer. The screen lit up. A short message played from the last scout ship. Approaching Earth, easy target. No resistance. Life forms detected. Wait. Something's then silence. No explosion, no signal loss. Just ... The end. Velter narrowed his eyes. What kind of weapon makes ships disappear without a trace? No one answered. Across the galaxy, Earth was known as a primitive world. Its population was human, organic, small, weak. They didn't have advanced AI fleets or plasma cannons. Their warships were old. Their army numbers were low. And yet, Velter had a theory. Maybe Earth was hiding something. Maybe it was a trap planet designed to look weak, but secretly built for death. He remembered a legend, an old story whispered by ancient species, a story about the planet that fights with monsters born from its soil, a planet where the land itself learns to kill. Nonsense, of course. Still, he couldn't ignore the fear. Do we have any visuals? From orbit? He asked. Yes, General, the tech officer replied. One drone managed to send back images before its signal was lost. The screen showed green forests, giant oceans, mountains, cities. It looked peaceful. Then they saw something strange. In one image a forest moved, not from wind, but as if it was breathing. What is that? Velter leaned forward. The officer zoomed in. Tall trees. Shadows moving. No animals in sight. But one thing stood out: eyes, dozens of eyes glowing deep in the forest. Are those human eyes? The general asked. The officer shook his head. No, sir. Too large, too unnatural. Velter stepped back. He had conquered worlds with beasts before, but those were genetic weapons. Built in labs? Earth had no such labs. So where did these things come from? Far from any human city, deep inside a mountain bunker? A woman named Dr. Alara Jennings watched the alien transmission from her secure lab. She was Earth's last defense, not with weapons, but with secrets. She turned to the room of quiet scientists. They've started asking questions, she said. Bacale Dominion knows something's off. A young technician spoke. Should we warn the council? Ilara shook her head. No, let them come. The protocol is in place. She looked at a darkened screen on the wall. A simple message blinked. Guardian, AI, active. Earth wasn't defenseless. It was sleeping, but it would wake up when touched. Velter looked at the transmission one more time. His instincts screamed. I don't trust this, he said. Tell the council no invasion yet. We need more time. But it was too late. Another Dominion fleet had already entered Earth's orbit. 10 warships, thousands of troops, all eager to conquer the so-called weak world. And within minutes of arriving, all contact was lost. Again, VE. Letter stared in horror. 10 ships gone. No wreckage, no survivors, no fight. Silence, like Earth had swallowed them whole. Prepare my personal vessel, Velter said quietly. I'm going to Earth myself. His officers looked at him, shocked. Sir, that's suicide. Velter narrowed his eyes. I want to see what lives on that planet. He wasn't going for war. He was going to understand why Earth had no defenders, but still never lost. The Galactic Council had never seen a planet like Earth. It looked weak. No space fleets, no planetary shields, no defense satellites, just silence. Peaceful, open, defenseless. But something strange was happening. Commander Vulek of the Threx Dominion leaned forward, narrowing his 4 eyes on the screen. The last 3 scout teams, elite soldiers from 3 different alien species, had all gone silent after entering Earth's orbit. Not a scream, not a warning, just silence. His claws tapped the control panel. Play the footage again, he ordered. The officer obeyed. The footage from the last Threx scout ship appeared. A calm view of Earth's clouds, cities below, oceans blue. Then, a second later, only a single sentence appeared in every known galactic language. No signature, no signal, just those words burned into the ship's memory. Commander Volek's voice dropped. Who sent this? Unknown, the officer replied. There is no trace of how the message was transmitted. It came from inside their ship, as if Earth spoke directly to their systems. Another officer entered the room, pale and shaking. Sir. The Zurich Empire tried to land 5 ships near Earth's moon. All of them disappeared, destroyed. No, sir. Just gone. No wreckage, no trace. It's like they were erased. The silence in the control room grew heavier. Vulek stood slowly. Something is not right. Earth doesn't act like a weak species. They act like predators pretending to sleep. A nervous whisper filled the room. Maybe that's why no one attacks them. Because those who try are never seen again. Back on Earth, deep in a forest, a small cabin stood untouched by time. Inside, an old man with gray eyes sipped tea. He watched the stars. Beside him, a strange box blinked once, then again, then stayed still. They're watching again, he said softly. Curious little things. A soft voice from the shadows answered. Should we remind them? The man smiled. Not yet. Let them think Earth is soft. Let them think we are weak. Let them forget what happened the last time someone tried. He closed his eyes. They'll remember. When it's too late. The Galactic Council had almost given up on understanding Earth. But then, a survivor returned. His name was Karav, a scout from the Jarnock Alliance. He wasn't supposed to come back. His ship vanished near Earth 2 cycles ago. Everyone believed he was dead, lost like the others. But now, here he was, standing before the council, alive and shaking. His armor was burned, pieces missing. His eyes were sunken. His voice cracked when he spoke. You don't attack Earth, Karav whispered. You don't even get close. The council chamber grew silent. A Zarn diplomat asked, what did you see? Karav stared into nothing. They let me live, only to deliver a message. He pointed to the scar running across his chest. This, not a weapon, a warning. It burned into my body the second I entered their atmosphere. What did the message say? A council elder asked. Karav's voice turned cold. Your galaxy is not ready for Earth. Go home before curiosity becomes extinction. The room fell into silence again. One of the younger commanders laughed. So they scared you? A little tricksome? Advanced tech? Maybe. Nothing we can't handle. Kurov turned his head slowly. I saw a mountain stand up, I saw a city disappear, without sound, and I saw something that looked human. Smile at me without eyes. No one laughed after that, he added. They're not sleeping. They're waiting. Council leaders stood, but Earth has no warships, no presence in the stars. How can they do this? Kurov looked him in the eye. Because they are old. Older than your empires. They have seen war you can't imagine. And now, they just want peace. But if you touch them, if you push too far, they won't give a second warning. Somewhere, on Earth, a little girl ran through a field of flowers. A butterfly landed on her hand. She giggled. Behind her, an old satellite dish rotated slightly. Hidden deep beneath the flowers, machines thousands of years old, hummed silently, waiting, watching. The girl didn't know, no human did, and that was the secret. Earth didn't defend itself like others. It didn't need to, because Earth itself was alive with memories of ancient wars stored deep underground. And something very old, was still guarding. Kurov's final words before collapsing were soft. They don't roar, they don't scream, but when Earth moves, the stars tremble. A signal spread across the galaxy, not from Earth, but from something under Earth. It was not in any known language. It wasn't a message. It was a feeling, silent pressure in every mind that had ever thought of Earth as weak. The stars dimmed for 3.2 seconds, and then it stopped. Just like that. The Galactic Council gathered in emergency. Screens flashed warnings in red. Unknown mental wave. Origin, Earth. Possible psychic weapon. A scientist from the ULOC system stood pale. It wasn't a weapon. It was a memory. Someone or something showed us what they've done before. One by one, beings across the galaxy began to remember things they had never seen. Visions of entire solar systems turning to ash. A planet splitting in half like a cracked egg. Armies erased, not by force, but by fear. And in every vision, a human stood there, watching, silent, calm, as if none of it surprised them. An old Vorak general whispered, I saw a human lift the sky, and drop it on 1,000 warships. They showed you too? Asked a Loran priest. All across the galaxy, species from 1,000 worlds realized something terrifying. Earth had fought something, long ago, something bigger than the entire galaxy, and it had won. But after that war, it stopped. It erased its own name from ancient maps. Let itself look small, slow, peaceful, so that no one would ever bother it again. But now, the galaxy had noticed Earth had poked it too many times. Earth wasn't angry, just disappointed. Meanwhile, on Earth, an old man walked into a cave in the Himalayas. He wore no armor. He carried no weapon. But as he stepped into the dark, thousands of lights blinked on around him. Machines, silent for 10,000 years, began to hum. A voice greeted him. Welcome back, Commander. The old man took a deep breath. Looks like they're waking up. Yes, said the voice. And the galaxy still doesn't understand. Good, the old man replied. They don't need to. Not unless they come knocking again. He placed his hand on a glowing panel. High above, hidden satellites turned toward the stars. They weren't aiming to fire. They were watching, recording, waiting. The true defense of Earth wasn't a shield. It wasn't a laser cannon or a fleet. It was the warning. The idea planted deep in every alien mind. Attack Earth, and you vanish. That was the rule. And now, even the bravest species had learned it because they realized something chilling. Earth wasn't quiet because it was weak. It was quiet because it was the one thing in the galaxy. Everyone feared waking up.